Hi, I'm Melanie Samuels, the CEO and founder of the Campaign Against Hunger. The Campaign Against Hunger started 25 years ago, and how it came about, I was working in the financial business, and then I heard of one woman that was disabled, had 4 children, and needed help. At the time, I was living in New Jersey, way in the shore side of New Jersey, so it's quite a distance from Brooklyn. My husband and I heard that she needed food, so we packed a bag from my personal cupboard at home and came to Brooklyn and delivered. Then we found out it was not an isolated situation because there were other families that were in need. I organized the PTA at my children's school so that we could get enough food to feed. At the time, we started out with from 1 to 5 to 20 families, and then after a while that was not sufficient. We did a survey to find out that here in Bed-Stuy, although there were other pantries, there were so many families that were in need. And we also found out that families suffered from diabetes, hypertension, and obesity. We opened a small pantry in a church's basement, started serving these 50 families, and it became very tedious for me out of my own resources. I wrote a grant and was able to get a little over $8,000, and I thought, well, I can feed the world. I actually thought that. To come to find out that in no time we were serving approximately 5,000 families per month, which was a whopping number. And then the story changes when, after filling bellies, my idea was just to bring enough food in to fill bellies. I never thought about the health of the individual. That was not a part of my agenda. I just wanted to get cheap food to take care of high needs. And to find out, families were bartering on the street and leaving some of the things. What I found out that grapefruit juice is not good for those that are suffering from diabetes. With the medication, that would not work. So grapefruit juice, of course, is the cheapest juice you can find. Then as we continued that way, I decided I would approach a funder. And I approached this very reputable funder and asked them if we could change the whole parameter of how, or just the design and model of how pantries are serving. I wanted to bring something new into Bed-Stuy. And I asked them if we could purchase a space. They said they could not give us enough money to purchase, but they could give me $140,000 where I could first start what we call the first of its kind supermarket style pantry. At the time, the pantry was called Bed-Stuy Campaign Against Hunger. My staff and volunteers and I, because we really actually didn't have staff, we only had volunteers. And what we found out that day, we started out maybe 10 o'clock getting ready. Rain was falling, but yet the entire block was wrapped around with families in need in the rain. Others had told me that this new style model that I'm bringing in, where dignity rolls down every aisle, where we thought that this was a great idea, they said, well, it's a wrong thing to do. You're in Bed-Stuy. Homicidal rates are very high, homelessness, teenage pregnancy, and so you are doing the wrong thing. Individuals are just going to walk in and yank everything off the shelves. You need to get a security guard, you need to get all kinds of security. And I told them no. I said, once you treat families with dignity and they know you care, it's going to be different. And so said, so done. The families piled in. We had all these fresh fruits and vegetables, everything ready to distribute. At the end of the day, and I'll say, the end of the day meant we were supposed to work until 4 p.m. We were there until 8, 9 o'clock at night because the news spread about this new pantry that opened with a model that no one has ever seen. Individuals were coming in. When the day was over and I had a chance to go to the back to see what was left from all the food that we had purchased, we noticed that families only took the starchy vegetables. They did not have leafy green or anything like that. And that continued, and that brought us to a place where we knew that nutrition classes was important. So in the day, it was a pantry. By evening, it was a kitchen. We actually converted the pantry into a somewhat of a kitchenette where we're teaching families of all different age group and population how to make healthy food. And from there we developed a farm, and I'm going to leave the farm to Mary. We'll talk a little bit more about the farm.
Hi, my name is Tamara Dawson. I'm the Chief Operating Officer here at the Campaign Against Hunger. I've had the privilege of working at the Campaign Against Hunger for almost 17 years now, and over the time that I've been here, I've had the opportunity to see the growth of all our various programs. We started with just our Benefit Access. Benefit Access is the office where all our clients come in for their initial interview. It is in that office that clients are able to get screened for SNAP to help them with housing, health insurance, MTA cards, just an array of different services that are needed apart from the main service that they come for, which is our supermarket style pantry or our pantry initiative. That was the backbone of our services apart from the pantry, but over the years, back in 2009, Dr. Samuels one day was just looking through the back of her office, and she realized that we had wasted space. We had a backyard that was overgrown with trees and shrubs, and it was infested with rodents. And she had a vision. She had an aim. She said, being from the Caribbean, why don't I take this space and make it into a farm? And being the visionary that she was, she began to pitch this story to various funders, and everyone just thought this was impossible. This wasn't a task that could be done. And she never gave up. And so one day, United Way gave us what we call a seed grant. And from that grant, we were able to develop the farm. In the back has since grown to our Far Rockaway farm, our Saratoga farm, our Eastern Parkway farm. The farm gave us the opportunity to target young people. And so through the farm, we were able to develop what we call our Green Team program. The Green Team program helped us to target youths between the ages of 14 all the way up to 24, whether it's during the summer or through a year-long program, educating them on growing in the space, understanding how to use simple tools like a drill, a saw, planting seeds and growing. And from there, we saw what a change and an impact we were making on young people's life, and we developed what we call our culinary arts program. That allowed for us to take chilled youths between the ages of 18 to 24 who were on the streets. They were not in school and doing productive activities, and teach them culinary arts skills, how to hold a knife, how to work the line in a restaurant, how to work the front and the back end of a restaurant business, and just developing a love for food, healthy food, not just cooking anything, but cooking healthy options. The culinary program is the backbone of our cafe. We opened up about 3 years ago, Beach Dune Eats and Arts, located in the Rockaway. This cafe is in a food desert, an area where the closest place where someone could get something to eat was a Little Caesar 2 miles away. And so we wanted to make a change in that community, and so we opened up the Beach Dune Eats and Arts Cafe that gives options like quinoa, brown rice, salads, grilled foods and vegetables, and so providing a healthy options for individuals.
And what happened is, as we continue to grow exponentially, the families began coming in, and we found ourselves with technically one location here in Bed-Stuy. We had developed what is called a mobile pantry. Mobile pantry went to Coney Island, 2 areas of Coney Island, into the South Bronx, and also into Far Rock. and Sandy hit. And when Sandy hit, again, a devastation hit New York City. Never before has this Category 5 walked in on the shores of New York. Devastated families, especially those in at the coastline areas. We decided we would be a support to the Rockaways. And we have been serving the Rockaways since then, meaning that not only did we bring a mobile pantry, but we were able to open a half an acre of farm, which was very unique for a pantry. So other from the small farm we started out, we started growing when it comes to farming. And that meant teaching seniors and teaching youths what to do. In March of 2020, unbelievable, COVID-19 hit New York City and the most vulnerable. And we have to remember, it's not just New York City. What it was is the most vulnerable of all, the black and brown community, the population that was already on a shoestring budget, could not put food on the table because it's so expensive to buy food, take care of their homes, and usually families left food out. We are in what we refer to as a food desert, where families normally go to the local bodega, the fried chicken, and the other places, the Chinese food. That was where they were going. And of course, when COVID hit, many of our families died, or seniors died. It was devastating, not only in Brooklyn, but also we know the area we served in Queens. We lost so many families, which was not good because it could have been prevented. Why am I saying that? Is that for years we have echoed that our community needs far more fresh fruits and vegetables. We have echoed that we need help. We have the population, we can support the families. All we need is the help to do so. We need funders to help us. We did not get the help what we needed, and with that devastation, I came up with a model, and my team and I came up with a model that was unique to New York City. On the day when COVID hit, when a third of the pantries in Soup Kitchen closed their doors, of course you understand fear, not only fear, but the seniors who normally run soup kitchens and pantries, they died, or they had to shelter in place, right? And so we did not close, not one day. We did not close, and thanks to God, we did not lose one of our staff or volunteers. But nevertheless, what we did, that was innovative. It was a game changer to New York City. It caused us to address hunger in a new way. On the day, I remember when we opened up, families racked, when I say racked the block, there were hundreds of families, no PPE, fear, just the place was just weird. There's a lot of fear going around, kids hanging on to their parents because they don't know where to leave them. Our staff, of course, is afraid, and we had to do something. So what I did, I told my staff, this is the time for us to get a warehouse space. This is an impossible task. The height of COVID, everyone's closed their door. Where would I find a warehouse space? And furthermore, I want to add, we had no money, so we could not pay rent for a warehouse space. But the good news is, in 3 days, we were able to make contact from one to another. Senator Prasad supported us in this. In 3 days, we got a call from Broadway Stages that says, come and look at a building. We couldn't believe it. We went to the space and we were able to get 11,000 square feet space pro bono so that we could feed family. What does the model look like that we created? What we did is that we decided, you know your community best. We started to engage community leaders, right? Community leaders meant to us TSA president from the NYCHA building. It meant to us the shelters. It meant senior homes. It meant working with electoral officials. It went the precinct, sororities and churches and any religious institution. We were able to build over 200 community partners that knew who was hungry, who was dying, who needed food. And we moved in that direction by either delivering or having them pick up. And it meant us palletizing. It meant us packing bags, very little volunteers. But we were able to serve in 2020 a whopping 25 million meals went out to families that were most vulnerable. And I want to stress that it's not just families who were most vulnerable, it's that the meals that we served were healthy. It meant getting fresh fruits and vegetables. The city assisted us with a very large grant that helped us to move that food, get enough food to move into the community. But what the success of what we did is that it was easily replicable to others. So some of the major pantries, they all now have warehouse spaces that they've used the same model to help families. So again, the campaign against hunger have really impacted New York City. Not only that, but what we have done right now, we're in 19,000 square feet of warehouse space with an enormous refrigeration, and we look now at, we are also in Far Rock, we are working with 9,000 square feet space, and we have some real innovative programs that you'll hear about in a few minutes, from our cyber pantry to our e-market that is coming, to our other programs that you'll hear far more about.
Hello, my name is Raquel Grant. I'm the Chief Development Officer here at the Campaign Against Hunger, one of the most robust anti-hunger organizations in New York City. The Campaign Against Hunger impacts 1.5 million vulnerable individuals across the city. We are in 145 zip codes. We feed 1.5 million vulnerable New Yorkers facing food insecurity. That means these are individuals that do not have enough to eat to live an active, healthy life. Annually, we provide approximately 15 million nutritious meals to these families and a host of services you've heard. So help us to serve these vulnerable families. There are ways you can contribute to our work. You can donate at our website. You can volunteer at our food pantry, at our warehouse, community food distribution centers in the Rockaway. Lend your hand in service, lend your hearts to help support those most in need.
What we've been able to do is to engage so many individuals to understand eating healthy, and a massive workforce program working with 130 young people, engaging them in several areas in our organization, and working with a tremendous staff that has been doing an excellent job meeting the need. And then again, now COVID is over, what else has happened in New York City? We are bombarded with more migrants than one can handle. The last time I checked, we had 6,000 immigrants, and that is a growing number, right? That has been coming to our door. I could go on for another hour, but we need all the help we can get. There's so much to be done. We are inspired. It's an amazing organization. It really touched the heart, not just touch people's life, but we save life, impact life, and change lives by what we do, how we do it, and the strength of what we do. It's been just awesome, and we appreciate all our volunteers, our board members, and our staff, and all those that have just taken an interest, or donors have taken an interest in the Campaign Against Hunger. I'm looking forward to great things. I can't do it without you. Thank you. God bless.